Peace, beautiful people. In today's video, we are going to be creating this beautiful geode style piece of artwork from our most recently completed acrylic pour. If that's something that you're interested in, please stay tuned. Alright, so jumping right into it, you see we are going to be coating our piece with resin, and our resin is also going to have some glitter mixed in with it. With the resin, it is going to work as both your protectant as well as your glue for all of the embellishments that are going to be added to this piece. It is extremely important that once you apply your resin, you coat evenly. You do not want to have missed pieces if you can avoid it. You don't want to have exposed canvas, so you take your time, use whatever your smoothing tool is, go end to end, and focus on trying to keep it as even as possible. Now I choose to use a spatula after using a paintbrush for a while. This spatula allows it to actually stay as smooth as possible, and it gets rid of any possibility of brush marks. As we see here, covering the edges, making sure we hold on to any excess after going to and from in both directions, and capturing the leftovers in the cup. Alright, so I almost skipped one of the most important steps when using resin, and you'll see that right here. You always want to apply your heat source. I use a torch, and that allows me to get rid of those air bubbles that are in my resin when I put it on, ensuring that smooth glass-like finish. Now that that's taken care of, we can get right into adding in our embellishments. Now for all of my geode style pieces, I use cracked fire glass. I find that it reflects the best, it holds the best with the resin, and it keeps that shine to give you that texture and that pattern that you're looking for when you create such a piece. Here I'm using an auburn tinted fire glass for the outer layer, and then we're using a darker brown tinted fire glass to accent as well. This is gonna bring out those colors in this piece, which are chocolate brown, rich espresso, rose gold, as well as an antique gold. It's going to help to really make those colors pop and complement the piece. Now it is extremely important when you are doing this style of a piece that you are intentional. I usually try to follow the texture, the pattern, the design of my acrylic pour when I'm embellishing. That way it looks more realistic. Doesn't look like I just slapped some stuff on top of a painting. It really does give it that true geode style. Next here, we're dropping in our gold foil flakes. Now this stuff here, important note, it will fly around the place, and it also sticks to everything. So be intentional. I usually try to keep my gloves on with it, but I found out in doing this that one of the gloves I had on had actually gotten some of the resin on it. So I took that glove off, and I make sure that I'm not actually touching the resin itself with my bare hand. I do still have one hand that has a glove on it if necessary. And then I'm using my palette knife to make sure that some of those loose pieces end up in line. When you are applying your gold foil flakes, don't press them down. You want texture, you want depth. Use their design, their structure, their build to create that. Once you apply the resin, it'll take some of that layer down, but you want it to hold. Now I'm going back over everything that I just embellished. So yes, we are applying it on resin, which acts as an adhesive, but you also want to make sure that you hold down what you just put in. This cracked fire glass, it's full of individual pieces, so I want to make sure it doesn't move. That resin is going to help me keep them in place, but it's also going to keep the texture of those foil flakes. Now, once you've applied your resin on and you notice that I'm drizzling it back and forth instead of just pouring it, Once you apply it on, you're going to notice that you might have some gaps. So that's what you see here. I'm reapplying some more of my gold foil where I'm noticing that it flattened out a bit more than I would want. And then I'm going to hit it with a little bit more of that resin drizzle on top. And then we should end up with our finished piece. And here we are with a completed piece. All that shimmer that you see there, that is the reason why we go with our fire glass as well as gold flakes. And then you notice those gold veins that I added in, those are actually done by way of a premium multi-surface oil-based pen that is meant to write on glass. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. Please comment, like, subscribe, any feedback you might have. I love to interact. Till next time, y'all go out and keep being great. Peace.